If it turns up, I'll put it on the engine stand. If not, well, I'll find another way of doing it. You see me break that one? Maybe not. Right, g'day all. I've spared you all the hassle of watching me, or frustration of watching me take all the other bits and pieces off to get it to this stage, but basically I'm about to pull the engine out. I've got to replace the pistons, rings, rods, rod bearings, give the head a tidy up, U-valve stem seals on that. Basically it hasn't had the upgrade, that's why it's burning all that oil. If you've had a look at some of the other videos, basically it shows what I went through to get to this stage, but no big deal. This has taken me a day to get to here. A little bit of frustration, but only because it's the first time doing it. There's plenty of videos out there of how to pull these engines out. Really good one out there called Motor Car Nut, that's him. So a really good guy, awesome accent, explains everything, does it all, nice and chill, very calm, doesn't get frustrated and carry on. So yeah, have a look at that stuff. It'll really help you out where we're at here. So I've got everything taken off, it's loosened up. The engine's actually started to come away. I've got it supported underneath from the transmission. So the transmission's supported, the engine's supported underneath, and I'm basically about to lift it up. I don't have any shackles or anything like that, so I've used a couple of really good padlocks here. They should be right, and some over the kill chain on that to lift it out as well. I've seen people use like fan belts and serpentine belts and things like that, so whatever you've got. I should probably get myself some U-bolts. Just had to buy myself a new engine crane. The one I was going to hire wasn't available at the short notice that I needed, so just gone and bought myself one, so I'll probably use that. Basically lifting it up nice and slowly, making sure everything's disconnected, and then should come out like that. So basically the whole engine needs to slide to the driver's side of the vehicle if you're in Australia, and then come forward and out. Should be enough clearance. I may have to put the hood back a bit more. The engine mounts they've got for the lifting mounts they've got for them are on this side of the engine. The engine is rocked backwards. I'm assuming that's why they've put them at the front. I did see in a video where they've moved this engine mount to the, lifting mount to the back there, just to get it centered across. I might have to do that, but we'll see how we go. So. Alright, so there you go. A little bit nerve-wracking, but we got there in the end. There was just a few extras I had to take off, like the serpentine belt tensioner had to come off. Also, I'd left the top of the intake to the turbo on as well. That needed to come off because it was actually pushing on the brake reservoir there, so they need to come out. But pretty well, like next time, well, hopefully there'll be not a next time, but anyway, if there is a next time, and for any of you guys that are watching out there, probably a good thing for is to remove the pulley off your harmonic balancer as well. Take that off. Make sure you've got the special tool to pop back in there because it is all timed up. It's getting pulled apart anyway, so, and that'll be the reason you're going to pull it out, so it's not necessarily a big problem. So there's the idler, that need to come off. Just like cleared those pipes here for your AC, and also I'd actually zip tied the AC up out of the way. Not a good idea because when it came up it's getting less and less space, so that's why I had to drop it back down. Drop the AC down below because you don't want to disconnect that. It's going to drop all your AC gas, and then you'll have to get that recharged, which is costly and you don't need to do it anyway. So yeah, undo that, let it go lower than the engine, and when it comes out, this has got the dual clutch transmission in it, so it's splined. If you've got the older style on the EOS, there's an inspection window here, basically on the back of the engine, up in here, there's an inspection window. So that inspection window you'd actually look through onto there. This is probably a giveaway on that as well, if it doesn't have the upgraded one on there, because you actually want to leave the torque converter, needs to stay with the transmission. So you'll undo the bolts through here, just crank the engine around, undo your bolts, and then that stays with that, and you get the rest of it coming this way. If you need to replace the rear main seal on this, the dual clutch transmission will need to come off with the torque converter as well. So that'll need to come off there, and that's just in the back. I'll need to remove this anyway because there is a couple of bolts behind here that I need to get to. So by the looks of that, that's a multi-hex in there, triple square. So I'll have to get a tool for that. Undo those triple square bolts. That can come off. That plate will come off. There's actually 2 bolts on the bottom of that. As your oil pan comes off, because I'm replacing the rods and pistons and bearings, you can't just get through them through here. This has got to come off. Then your windage tray, whatever you want to call it, that needs to come off. That's out of the way, then you can get to your rods. So yeah, that's where it is now. I'm going to get myself a coffee because I think I need one. This engine hoist, or crane, sorry, fantastic. Nice and cheap, just got it from Super Cheap as well. Really super easy to put together. It took me about, I don't know, half hour to put together. The hardest thing was reaching in and getting the bolts at the back here for that, but perfect. Nice control over it. I've got it set to the 250 kilo mark, so I'd actually get more lift. It's got plenty more lift to go from there. But yeah, you can go all the way up to a ton on that crane, and it actually moved fairly well too. I've got a bit of lip in the driveway. I was a bit worried about that, but anything bigger and it wouldn't actually fit in here. So basically, yeah, with that lip there, just made sure everything was clear, and then just a bit of momentum, got it up over that lift. I could probably should have put something in there, like a little ramp or something, but we got there. She's up. I'm just waiting for the engine stand now. Once the engine stand gets here, I can start hooking into getting this thing apart. But I might actually have a look at getting that off so I can get my engine stand mounted up on it. So in the kit is the crankcase hold, the crank holding tool. Just pop that in there just so I can break those, and then I'll rip this off now. There you go. And these are the 2 offending little bolts down here. So only tiny, but it actually holds the whole carrier on. So without doing that, you can't get to those 2. That's just your rear main oil seal there. Got a new one of those, so while I'm here, I'll probably just pop that in as well. even though this one's not leaking, but I don't really feel like pulling the engine out again, if I can help it. Although, kind of good at it now. Well, I consider it good anyway. Right, I'm going to wait for the engine to stand. I'm actually going to start disassembling it now, so I'm going to take the head off while it's on the ground, and then we'll work from there, whether I put it on the engine stand, and if it turns up, I'll put it on the engine stand. If not, well, find another way of doing it. Okay, so I had to do that off camera because I was a little bit, I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. It's just, you got to get it in the right spot to be able to get it to go. But I finally got it, and it's coming off now. Oh. So the problem is the breaker bar actually pushes through here, which pops it away from there. So you got to set it up just right. Just take your time with it. I'm sort of probably rushing at it a bit like a bull at a gate, as usual. Just need to slow down, calm down, and you'll be good to go. So, nice long bolt, a little lowering on the end of it. And you've got a special tool in your kit. It's a little nylon washer, so when you pull this off, careful not to get it out of time. There's a little cutaway section on the back here, which lines up on here, and that whole thing can pop off this way, which will drop all your chains off. So they provide you with this little washer here, so you can pop that back in, and you sort of snug it up. It doesn't need to be very tight, and then that'll keep that in place. And you can still rotate the engine around if you need to. So you can do that when it's in the car. Perfect. So a little assortment of little tools. This is for your variable valve timing. Maybe it's not that one. It's that one there. Seems we have the gold series. This is reverse thread as well. So just careful with that one. So lefty loosey, righty tighty, but in this case it's lefty tighty, righty loosey. Slide him out nicely. Right, it can. It's a valve, so basically just make sure it comes out nice and even. Then you can take all this gear off at the front as well, and we can get to our so we can get our chains off and whatnot. And it needs to come out nice and even. You don't need to force it, you just need to be nice and gentle with it. Oh, there you go. Good use of RVT on that one. Cam chain tensioner, this is the new style. The old style has got a cover over the top, and usually replace those straight away because they end up breaking. What we're actually going to do is just remove that altogether. We don't need to be in timing because I'm going to rip the whole thing apart and go from there. So remove this, I'll reset it, I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so how to reset these little timing chain tensioners. This is the new style, as I was saying before. It's got this as your little locking pin in here. Set it up in a vise just so you can squeeze it. You've got to be a little bit careful, as in basically when you squeeze this together and start turning in, do it nice and slowly. If you feel it starting to catch, then just back it off and get it to go like that, a bit better, until you get it in. And this is your locking pin once you've finished. So basically start turning it, squeeze those together. You'll hear oil squeezing out of it, nice and slow. Right, once you're done, and you've got a clip at the top, which basically these will slide into here, slides into that opening, and then these outside ones will actually grip onto the plate there. And then you can back it off, so you just pop it in, it just slots down in there. Feel a little bit of a click home. Once she's home, then just wind it out, and it'll stay set for you. So when you go to install that, install it in there, get your timing all right, and then when you're ready to go, just pull the pin, and it'll keep your time, keep your tension on that chain. And clean up, and put that aside. So I'll start taking off some of these tensioners just so I can get these chains off and remove that head. So there's a tensioner just down here for the oil pump chain. So basically just in here, there's a clip. Just needs to come out and around, and that'll loosen that chain off. You can remove it. And now that we've got this one out as well, we can remove these guides. Have to remove the PCB to get to a couple of these bolts. Which means we'll also pull out these ignition coils as well. Cams look really good, which is great. It actually looks nice and clean in here, which is even better. So you got those 5 bolts across the top, and then it's actually sitting in a little ledge, so you should be able to just move that off. You'll have to loosen those bolts off. I knew that I would forget to hit play again, or record, sorry. So you got to believe me that yeah, getting that off. So basically loosen off these lower brackets here, take all your bolts off across the top. These two hoses remain with the block. You take out the other water hose, coolant hose, and the other oil feed. So you leave them with the turbo, and then yeah, it lifts straight out. You didn't miss much, but I think the internet is full of people saying, I forgot to hit record. It's also a good excuse. You can hide mistakes and things like that too. Not that there was any mistakes, that went perfectly. So I'm going to rip out the rest of this head now. It's just head bolts, and that's it. And that will be it for today. So your head bolts come off with another special tool. This is logged as a SCM V10, so it's a 10mm square, I think they call them poly drives. But yeah, it's sort of a square drive on the end. Looks like a Torx, but it's not. So yeah, suggest you get those. These head bolts, of course, will all be replaced. The new ones, they come in the kit, which is good. So all of them are torque turned. Basically, I can't remember the exact torque rating. I'll get that when it goes back on. But it's you do 2 lots of 90 degrees on it. Did you see me break that one? Maybe not. Maybe I didn't break it enough. Yeah, I just didn't break it enough. There you go. First look. Looks pretty horrible. Full of oil. That's why we're doing this job anyway.